Yo guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. It is Professor Anime, and welcome back to yet again another episode review of Boruto Naruto Next Generations. So with that said, today we're going to be discussing episode 50, episode 50 of Boruto. So without further ado, let us begin. Now, this is probably going to be one of the simplest reviews that I have ever done of this series, because simply this episode, in and of itself, was probably the most pointless episode that we have ever had of Boruto. Let's be honest here. Let's be honest here. Episode 50 of Boruto was just straight up recap. It was just straight up recap. We spent at least 15 minutes of recap within this episode of Boruto, with the last 5 minutes of it being seeing, you know, the teachers like Konohamaru, Moegi, Udon, and Shino, as well as Hanabi making an appearance, getting all drunk at a bar. I mean, that's really all this episode had in it. Was 15 minutes of recap, and then a drunk teacher scene. That's pretty much what it was. And we spent 10 minutes of this episode glorifying on how Boruto is so strong and powerful, and that one day he will succeed the 7th Hokage, which is Naruto. Then after about those 10 minutes of glorifying on how great Boruto is and how great he will become in the future, we spend the next 5 minutes going in detail showcasing some of the other characters within the series, like Awabe, Metal Lee, and just like what they're capable of as shinobi, while within those 5 minutes, we eventually get to Boruto's team, Konohamaru's team, and we spent, you know, the same amount of time focusing on Boruto yet again, even though we've already spent at least 10 minutes, you know, talking about how, you know, one day he will surpass the Hokage and all that good jazz. I'm like, yo, like, come on, come on. We don't need to see this. We don't need to see this. And then, of course, the last 5 minutes of the episode were, of course, you know, seeing the teachers get all drunk. Now, seeing Hanabi drunk was, you know, that was pretty good. That was pretty good, but, I mean, honestly, who cares? Who cares, you know? I mean, this was just such a pointless episode of Boruto. I understand that we're around, I mean, we technically are at episode 50 of Boruto, and this was to be expected at some point that we would eventually get a recap, but it's like, we already know this. Do we really need a recap to get, you know, prepared for the Chunin exams? I mean, I don't know. Just personally, I wasn't a big fan of this episode simply because of the fact it was a recap, and then also, like, there was little to no substance within this episode. It really wasn't. I didn't find a purpose in it other than essentially just giving us recap of the characters. The only thing funny that I find about all this that's coming down in Boruto is just the fact that we're actually getting to the Chunin exams quite early on, but I mean, then again, if you go back to the previous Naruto anime series, around like episode 20 is eventually where we actually saw Naruto start to take the Chunin exam. Like, that's when the Chunin exam arc began to, you know, unfold. It was around episode like 20-ish, I believe, and then it spanned all the way up to episode 67, if I am correct on that. Maybe some of you can correct me in the comments down below. But yeah, I mean, episode 30 of Boruto is where we just saw, you know, these characters finally become Genin, and it's like we're already heading into the Chunin exam arc. But I guess in a way, technically, if you look at the previous Naruto series, it kind of matches up. It kind of matches up due to, you know, how long some of these children are going to stay Genin. You know, we're not going to spend too much time on their Genin stages, because, I mean, we've already spent a huge amount of time on the academy stages, if you if you know what I mean. So it's finally about time that we see our characters eventually, you know, go one step above, and that is to take the Chunin exams. And hopefully it looks like we're going to begin that in the next episode. But it looks like on next episode of Boruto, we are actually going to be getting an episode dedicated to Boruto's birthday. So, yeah, I can't really remember if that's exactly how the Chunin exam starts. So, I don't really know. But, oh man. Oh man, let's just get this shit started. Come on, let's just see the damn Chunin exams. Like, come on, Studio Period. Come on. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, what you guys thought about this episode of Boruto. I didn't think anything of it. It was just recap. I mean, there's nothing much else to say about this episode at all. So, yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Be sure to give this video a like if you enjoyed it. And with that said, I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out, guys.